What is up, guys? It's Sir Taco here, and welcome to Idle and Unguided, sort of podcast-like series that you guys get to be a part of with your comments and questions. In addition to that format, we will also be completing a challenge of sorts. Meet Sir Skillborn, an Iron Man account whose sole purpose is to complete all of RuneScape's non-combat oriented skills in the most inefficient way possible. That means no guides, no quest, just myself and the core gameplay loop. In the end, the most important part is to have fun and be safe. Now, since this is episode 1, I mostly just rambled about the beginning of my RuneScape journey, how cool the passage of time can be, and some positive thoughts about mental health. If you guys want to see more of this type of content, please give the video a like and leave a comment about what your favorite pizza topping is. Without further delay, let's get into episode 1. Breezing through the levels. Yeah, I remember growing up, pretty much what I used to do for my brother, because I mean, I think most things, when you have an older brother and you're the younger brother, that you don't want to do things, so free labor in a sense. He would have me do a lot of his wood cutting and his fire making for him, because he was just, he once again, free labor, so he didn't have to do it. So he was just like, oh, I have this perfectly good working younger brother who can do it for me, and I won't have to lift a finger or do anything. So, a lot of times he would just have me, because he knew I really wanted to play the game. At the time, I saw him and my cousin play it. This is probably back in 2006 through 8 time frame, I want to say. And I would watch them play it all the time, and they looked like they were having a blast. And so I didn't care in what capacity I got to play the game. I was just excited to, because, I was young. I was probably and he was into it when he started getting into it. He was probably 13, I want to say. So I was doing math. I was 8, I think, when I started. So I wasn't, I was allowed to be on the computer, but I didn't know much about it up until I think I was just finding out about it around that time frame too. So I was in not kindergarten. I was first or second grade or something like that. And so I had been slowly but surely figuring out how computers work. They were teaching us in computer classes, and we were playing all the, cool math games, and talking about some throwbacks there, dude. Cool math games, addicting games, Miniclip, of course. I know a lot of people's first encounters with RuneScape were through Miniclip. Mine were, of course, just through my brother and my cousin, who played it a lot, and they loved playing it. But I do remember getting on addicting games and getting all those old just flash games, dude. I understand why they had to go away, and why they took them away, just, and why they stopped supporting them. But it's still such a you think about such a time capsule, just a moment in time when you could log onto your computer, and instead of worrying about all these games and you want it to look as good, and it's super crisp and super clean, and you're playing console games like that. It's such a simple time where you could play RuneScape, or there's a bunch of other ones I remember. There's a zombie shooter game. If anybody knows Fancy Pants, I remember those types of games from that era. It's just mind-blowing how we've gone in the future now, where those games are just mobile games now, in a sense. I guess you kind of consider those the early variations of mobile games, in a sense, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy how fast time flies, too. And yet, sometimes things, a lot of things just don't change. I'm still playing RuneScape. I think I started playing officially started playing in 2008, 2009, when I was able to actually start playing on my own. I was allowed to and stuff. But it's crazy. Even as a kid, I don't think a lot of people first saw themselves playing RuneScape in their late 20s or early 30s. I don't think that was something that was on a lot of people's mind at the time. And the fact that this game is still around is such a mind-blowing fact, and such a cool thing as well. And the most recent ads of RuneScape are pretty cool in a sense, and it makes sense, because it is true. It is a game that ultimately does respect your time and respects the fact that maybe you won't have all the time in the world to play the game. So it's just cool in a way to think about that. You know, not a lot of games make it to 25 years. There's a few of them that are turning, you know, another one turning 25 this year that I'm hoping makes it this to the end of this year. We'll see. That's Halo. But this is like another one that's just been chugging along and just, it's had some ups and it's had some very big downs. Trust me, like watching it and then when I stopped playing and stuff. Yeah, in short, it's just kind of cool to see that this game has made it this far. And like I said, it's had its ups and it's had its massive downs. Evolution to Combat, looking at you. But it's still here. It still somehow has survived the test of time, kind of. They're working on it. They're trying to make it better. But it somehow did that. So I think that's just one of the coolest things ever about this game, that you can just kind of pick it up whenever you want. There's been times over the years where I've picked it up and I've played old school, and I've now, you know, most recently I'm primarily a RuneScape 3 player, just because I don't know, I just really like the newer graphics compared to old school, and maybe I just didn't really, I don't know, like I'm not dogging on old school. Trust me, I think it helped carry Jagex and helped carry RuneScape 3 in a lot of ways, and I think a lot of people could thank RS3 for the whole portion of its lifespan when it was just a money-making machine, and that's all it did. But it's just cool to kind of self-reflect on where we've came and where we are now in terms of the journey of this game, and not just the journey of this game, just your life in general. You can still play a lot of games that you may have played as a kid, and like I said, things change, people change, but it kind of feels cool in a way to still be able to touch and grasp something that you played as a kid, I guess. I don't know, just some deep thoughts in general, and that's kind of what the point of this series is. It's just kind of just to self-reflect on some just deep stuff in life and whatnot. So it's just cool. Cheers to, you know, I've been taking a break from YouTube because moving and other stuff, but other than that, like, it's just cool. I gotta play with one hand because my dog wants me to keep petting him with the other one, so this is rough out here. But it's just like, I don't know, man, it's cool to self-reflect on that. And like I said, like, I played my entire journey of RuneScape has been, you know, thanks to my brother, thanks to my mom as well and stuff. She allowed me to we shared a laptop at one point too, and me and her, my mom, because she got one for me, she got one for my brother, she got one for me, and you know, because I was the youngest, so I wasn't supposed to be trusted to have my own computer or whatnot, but it was like a little like Lenovo computer that just like, you know, I didn't know specs back then either. I didn't know much about it. I don't know what happened to them in the end. I don't remember what happened to them, but I mean, it had Windows Vista on it. You remember that operating system? It had Windows Vista on it, and we would play RuneScape on it. And it was, I want to say it was like 2007, 2008, like right around when, like, before HD came out. And I remember, like, when HD came out, that was such a huge moment for like just the game. When that's my favorite era that I always like remember fondly, because that's when I remember playing. I love that art style and that time period. But yeah, she got us those computers, and I had to share mine with hers, so we had like 2 profiles on it, not knowing, of course, that like limits like that can limit power usage and all this stuff that I know now of in the future and whatnot, like that power usage for like your RAM and CPU usage and stuff like that. So it's just kind of funny to like self-reflect on that. And I would play RuneScape with my brother for like hours and like wander on my own. And as everybody always says, like with RuneScape and just in general, the amount of life lessons that you learn from this game is like timeless. I mean, I learned about scams. I learned about uh, as cringy, and I'm pretty sure everybody kind of went through it, but like, you know, e-dating in a sense, not like probably fell for a couple, like it goes back into that scam and fraud kind of stuff in a sense, but like you kind of fall for like, you know, you're probably talking to a dude that's cosplaying as a chick or whatever, and they're just trying to get free stuff and whatnot. Like, I mean, the amount of lessons that RuneScape teaches you over the years is just so funny. It's so hilarious to look back at it now, and then like, but like in a way, I guess like it kind of advanced you as a person and as like a person moving forward, because you got to learn all these lessons at a young age, and now in the future as you move forward, it's just kind of like, I don't know, man, it's just kind of wild and super cool all at once that, I don't know, you learn these life lessons without actually having to like, some people, yeah, they lost accounts and probably like, you know, there were some heavy repercussions for the lessons that they learned, but a lot of it was probably like the nicest way, I guess you could put it, to lose, or like to not lose, but to like learn a life lesson. Because let's say like the big one is armor trimming scams, or, you know, buying GF or whatever the case may be. But like, you learn those lessons as a kid because you trust people, and then you realize you can't trust everybody, especially in a video game. But I don't know, man, it's just so cool, and funny and hilarious for like a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I remember that growing up was playing on those two Lenovo laptops. I remember fondly, like, once I was able to get my like my original main account, which I have lost access to. I have no clue what email was tied to that account. I don't even know if it's still around. I don't remember the last name that I had applied to it. I'm sure I changed it to something dumb or edgy. I don't exactly remember. And it probably got, you know, once they did the whole rename drop, it got probably renamed to something random, and I just can't get back into that account. It's probably like, by now, it's close to 20 years old, if anything. And it has a lot more, I did a lot more stuff on it. Granted, now, like, my new main account that I run on the almost daily when I do jump on the game and actually play as often when I can. That one was originally a tank character. And when I mean tank, this is like all old like verbiage that I remember growing up playing the game. I was in no way means a PvP person or anything like that, even back then. But in short, it was a what's known as like a tank pure. I'm probably like wording it incorrectly, but what my understanding of it was, my brother created the account because he wanted a character that pretty much only prioritized ranged in melee, or not melee, ranged in defense, and that was their only two skills, and maybe like a couple of like non-combat skills. I don't exactly remember the original stats for the account, but I remember he had let me use it a couple times, and so eventually I just kind of I like used it. And then years later, like last year, I was kind of curious, trying to find the original account that I had used growing up. Couldn't find it, of course, but I was like, maybe like, what if I can get it to Waffle Tank? And that was the original name of it, was Waffle Tank. And lo and behold, I remember the password for it. I was able to get into it. I was able to change its name and to where it's now my main account now, because it's the oldest account that I remember. But that connection there, once again, with like my brother and stuff like that, of being able to still play on a game 25 years later and play on an account that my brother created for an entirely different purpose. But it just kind of adds to the cool factor of it, in my opinion. And just kind of going from that to now. And like I said, I remember like fond memories of playing like Clan Wars, because when I played was during the when they just got rid of the wilderness and they got rid of free trade and all that stuff. And so it was kind of like, for me, that was the norm. That's what I was used to. I had watched videos of like, or watched my brother play and like do PvP and here and there. And then he eventually, when they got rid of the wilderness and everything like that, he went to Clan Wars, and he was using like TeamSpeak and stuff like that. It's just kind of cool. And like I said, it's to watch that. I remember fondly just watching him play and then I so badly wanted to play and get into the game, and I eventually did, you know. And I think we only ever played together one or two times legitimately. Like we went and we did a clan war, and it was probably on my main account that was actually like pretty highly spec'd in terms of range. So I think like I got lent a dark bow. I don't even know if dark bows are still in the game. I have not checked, but I remember I got lent a dark bow and played, and just it was a good time. It was a good night. And then I remember like playing Dungeoneering when Dungeoneering first came out, and actually kind of being into it a little bit. And then yeah, just I stopped playing after that for probably like almost a good decade, close to a decade. It definitely wasn't like, I think I stopped playing in 2011, right when the Evolution of Combat, like right before the Evolution of Combat came out, I stopped playing. And from there, I just played other games. At that point, I had discovered, you know, Halo, Call of Duty, all these other games that were on console, and I had an Xbox, and just left behind the entirety of RuneScape and you know, stopped playing it. And then years later, like I think in 2020, 21, during the pandemic, I decided just out of the blue just to kind of play the game and just try it out again, and just to see if I would enjoy it. And I didn't then, because like the heavy microtransactions and everything back then with the treasure hunter and stuff like that. But in general, moving forward, I just kind of was like, maybe I'll come back to it, maybe I won't. I don't know for sure. Because like with anything RuneScape wise, you always want to come back. I did play old school. The correction there in the timeline of the story, I did play old school in 2015. So whenever I stopped playing RuneScape, I stopped in probably 2012. 2011, 2012. Right around that time frame is when I officially stopped. And then old school RuneScape came out in 2013. And then like not until like 2 years later, 2015, my brother had told me about it. So I started playing old school a little bit. Not nearly enough to do anything, but I did touch it then. And then, you know, years later, that's when in the pandemic, when I actually started playing actual RuneScape 3 a little bit, and just to try it out. And then maybe a little bit more old school in between those years, just kind of no YouTube video, no nothing, just kind of just wanted to challenge myself to actually get to a certain level. And I did on that old school account. And then I dropped it because you can't, unfortunately, like I'm not going to pay 2 memberships for a main account, so I had to change main accounts completely to the one that has the most history on RuneScape 3. So I decided to stick with that one for the meantime. You know, I could probably chop oak now, and I just haven't been. I don't feel like smithing, so let's real quick, a little break. Do I have any? Do I have no coin? Do I? Let's try to sell some of this wood. Maybe we can get enough to get. That's if it lets us sell it. I have no clue. Will you guys buy my wood, please? Trade. Sell. Oh, 1 cent a piece. Max. 18 gold coins. What a bargain. See, I don't know how much an iron axe costs, but let's go to the shop, and the butcher shop. Let's see if we can get it. But yeah, like I played it here and there, and then it wasn't until last year when Dragon Wild had came out, and I just got this random itch just to play RuneScape 3. I don't know what it was that just kind of spoke to me and be like, hey, oh my god, 1,260 for a iron hatchet. That is insane. That is an insane number. Right. Yep. No, we're not doing that. It's not happening. Can I even chop an oak tree with a regular bronze axe? I'm pretty sure I can. That is an insane number. Jesus. Hey, let's go. I think I can burn oak logs now. Yep, I'm high enough level to burn oak logs. But yeah, it wasn't until last year I decided to start playing RuneScape 3 again. And ever since then, I've just, like, the whole resurgence of it, seeing it then drop Treasure Hunter and make that announcement, and just kind of all the changes graphically and everything that they're proposing on making. And I started a whole series, or try to, and I mean, Legacy Chronicles is unfortunately kind of dead for the meantime. Maybe it'll eventually come back at some point, but for now it's dead, unfortunately. One day, hopefully it'll come back. We'll see. But yeah, just kind of super cool, super interesting. How far life takes you, and how far like you'll come back to the things that you love and time again. Like that was me for years of Halo and stuff like that. But it's so cool, man. It's cool in a way. Like I say it's cool, and it's probably like there's probably a better word to describe it than just cool. But to me, it's I don't know. It's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just cool. To me, it's cool. It's just, I'm not that great at grammar and vocabularizing. That's even a word. Using vocabulary in a way that would like, what is it? Leo like keeps wanting me to pet him, and I keep petting him and stuff, and he's like, no, you gotta get on the floor and pet me and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's just trippy in a way, just kind of seeing just how you kind of return to the things that you love no matter what. So, but yeah, just super cool. That was a very long tangent, and I don't regret any of it, but I think we're just gonna get to level 15 and we're gonna call it for the woodcutting level for now. Maybe next time I will do mining and stuff like that, but we'll at least get to level 15 and stuff like that. Also, like, I don't know what type of series this is gonna be. I don't know if this is just gonna be me talking and just happen to be playing RuneScape at the same time with funny edits and funny whatnot involved, but maybe it'll be kind of like a weird podcast style thing. I don't know, dude. I'm probably stealing an idea from like Jimmy, J1 MMI and stuff like that. Consider taking a break from your screen. No, thank you very much. But maybe like, I don't know, if you guys have any questions to talk about topics within, could be RuneScape related or other games, stuff like that, and we'll just chit chat in these videos and just kind of, as they say, yap about stuff. But I'm totally down just to kind of just do these chill, laid back videos that just are just gonna be kind of like bringing it back to the old school days of like YouTube. That's like another trippy thing too, is like YouTube, how far YouTube has came in general. Like, dude, I remember like growing up, like being like on the what would be the term, kind of like the beginning of what YouTube turned into, in a sense of like playing, like watching, back when it was not the design, the logo that it has now, back when it was like the TV logo, and it was a silly website where you would watch like 2-3 minute clips of some random stuff, and you'd have like YouTube poop and machinimas and stuff like that, and random commentaries, and it didn't blow up until like probably like, I'd say like the 2010s is when YouTube really took off. But it's like so weird because I like remember the time period. I don't know if you guys remember it, and I'll probably show it on screen, but like, I don't know if you guys remember the time period of when YouTube used to be, when you would set up your page, you could have whatever, background you wanted for your YouTube page, and whatever image and stuff like that. And you could like, it looks so much different back then. I don't even know if like, I know a lot of people remember, especially if you're playing RuneScape, you remember. But like, I don't remember like if a lot of like younger people remember what that looked like back then. But it's so trippy, I guess it is. It's just like one word you could use to describe it. But it's so weird and cool to see like how that would now be considered, because it's getting close to being over 2 decades old, 20 years old. Makes me feel old. But like that, how much YouTube has changed in its time frame to now, and how that would be considered nowadays, that would be considered to be retro in a sense. And I mean, it definitely makes you feel old in a sense. But I guess it makes you feel, it's cool to reflect on those moments at the same time. And I guess that's the general direction of this video. Is just, I don't know, man. Take time to reflect. And if there's one deep meaning, I guess we could pass along and make this video somewhat deep and mean something in a way, is take time to reflect. And it doesn't have to be like in a negative way and stuff like that, but like take time to reflect and think about like how far you've came in a sense. I guess that's like one thing you could say, but like how far you've come and like stuff like that, and look positively upon it is what I would say. Look positively, like, and if you're not there yet, then you'll get there. Like, getting deep real quick for a moment and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be like mental health and be like a guru in that absence and stuff like that. There's plenty of people way better at it than I am, but in a sense, like what I'm getting at is reflect back and look at your journey throughout life, and you can see how you've grown in 20 different ways, and it'll probably make you feel like that's cool. So think about it that way. And if you're not there yet, you'll get there. Trust me. Like, that is one thing I can't say as someone who's had a very interesting and a very rough 2025 going into 2026. It does get better. And I know a lot of people have said it a bazillion times, but trust me, it does. It will. Stay the course. And just keep waking up, man, with the best, putting your best foot forward. Man or woman. I'm just saying man in general, but like, you get it. Just keep going, man. But take time to reflect about that. And I don't know, just kind of try to be grateful, I guess is the best way I could say it. And just kind of use that reflection to kind of just look at it and see how far you've came, and maybe that'll help you with your plans for the future to go from here. But that's going to be it for episode 1 of the misadventures of Sir Skillborn. If that's what we named this, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys want to talk about next. And we'll just have these nice little chit chats while I just do plain skilling. But other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have fun. And I'm going to redo that outro. But have fun. Be safe. Don't forget to drink water. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time, this is Sir Taco, Sir Skillborn, signing off. Goodbye. Leo distracted me. I didn't know. I'm a pacifist. I won't attack you. I refuse. Stop chasing me.